Day 30 of day 40. So what have I learned so far? Learnings. Yesterday or a couple of days ago, I wrote down my anti-vision. It's over there on a piece of A4 paper in big capital letters. The first night I avoided looking at it. That was basically me describing the consequence of if I don't achieve my domino habit and take that more seriously, or actually lowered the bar. I made it more achievable, which was a good thing to do. I again adopted a coach's mindset. What would I do if I was trying to help someone? You could think for yourself, or for me, if I was working with a client, what would I do? I would ask them how realistic I thought that was the habit, and then adjust as necessary. You want to be at least an 8 out of 10, but really a 9 out of 10 sure that you will be able to achieve that habit. And quite clearly I demonstrated that it was too low. To be in bed with a book by 9 p.m. was not realistic. So I pushed it back and was much closer to that time I was in bed with a book. How did I achieve that? I went to the gym earlier than normal. I got back home, ate something, and started my tidy routine. I think it's very important to tidy your space every day earlier than normal. And that went on as it always does. I find that when you start tidying, you suddenly want to sweep through and continue on. But anyway, that went on a bit longer than normal. But I was in bed with a book at a better time, reading Atlas Shrugged. And that definitely sent me to sleep. I was pretty tired anyway. So yeah, that was good. And I woke up an hour earlier today. And the first thought in my mind was, you failed. You failed. So this is and I was really angry. I was really, not angry, I was really disappointed. And I had to step away from it and look at it objectively and say, hang on a minute, this is a game. This is this perfectionist trap. And then I considered again that quote by Tony Robbins: you could be winning but feel like you're losing if the scorecard you're using is unfair. And I just have a tendency to have this perfectionist standard, and when it doesn't get hit every time, I have a negative association to the behavior then of trying to improve. So that is definitely something to be aware of if you have perfectionist tendencies, is you have to try to remain objective and look at improving. Lower the bar to make it more achievable, and then look at whether or not you are improving. Maybe you're not perfect yet, but you're improving, and you need to acknowledge that and celebrate that, so your brain then associates positivity to you striving. Not doing that is a major cause of just not enjoying life that much, because it could take time for you to get to where you need to be. And if you keep beating yourself up for not being there yet, then eventually your brain is much more likely to give up. So there are a couple of key learnings. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think keeping your life simple is really important. There's a book called Simplify, I think. I actually met a guy yesterday. Actually, I went out to eat something, and he was sat at the table next to me on his own. I was eating on my own. I was trying to read, and he started talking to me. Very successful lawyer in Mayfair, and he had run into basically two things that happened in his life, which were kind of catastrophes. One of them was self-imposed. It was his way of coping. Basically, he was drinking. He told me he started drinking every day, and it was really affecting him and his ability to work. I don't want to say too much, but it just really reminded me, and I had a chat with him, and we spoke about, options for him. A lot of the time it's about having options. You get stuck in a rut in life when you feel your brain convinces you that there is no option, and that could be because you set the bar too high. It's too big a jump, so you just give up. You enter like a learned state of helplessness. So a good coach will often ask you, where do you want to go? And then they'll chunk it right down so you can get some small wins, and already that starts to change your state. you start to believe that change is possible. The belief component is so important, like massively important. So yeah, we just chatted about what his options were, some healthy habits he could build into his life. But it just really showed me, it reminded me that we want to, I believe, this is just my belief, keep our lives fairly simple. I think complexity, having a busy life for no real reason is not so good. I think a small group of good friends is good. I think there's actually social science data behind that the optimal number of friends is, I can't remember, I think it may be 3 or 5 in your circle. More than that, it starts to yeah, so anyway, I don't want to digress too much, but that was another thing I was reminded of yesterday, is having a simple, I guess it sounds a bit clinical, but effective life. You know, where do you want to go in life? Like, if you're somebody who wants to achieve like a higher monthly income, you maybe want to simplify things right down, like give up some commitments. If you're committed to something Monday to Sunday, you know, in the evenings, you've given up all your time, you might need to draw some hard boundaries there, tell some people that you're going to need to drop out for now and focus on. I think working out is very, very important to keep you mentally sharp. Definitely your sleep routine is massively important. So if you have friends who are keeping you up late at night, something to think about. Maybe you need to tell them that you can go out once a week and that you'll need to get to bed early. I don't know, but having a simple life is good. So 2 things from this video, I guess. One is, yeah, I succeeded today. I woke up an hour earlier. That's a big win, to wake up an hour earlier, and I'm on track to go and have a really successful, productive day. I've mapped out my day. I've tidied my house, but again, my brain said to me, you failed. As soon as I woke up, like, so I have to, that's why this video journaling is so good for me, because I'm not going to sit there with a diary and write out, you know, like 5 pages. That would take me 20 minutes. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do a quick video. Yeah, so that's one learning. And then the second learning is to I think, have a simple life. And if a catastrophe does strike in your life, not to go, it's obvious, not to go to the bottle. Hopefully you have a positive association to another way, healthier way of escaping. Mine is exercise. Thank God for that. My go-to drug, if you like, is to put my running shoes on and go for a jog, listen to music, go for a walk. And I thank God for that, rather than picking up a bottle. That would be pretty bad if your brain associated pleasure to that. So yeah, definitely see if you can develop a taste for working out if you haven't already. But yeah, that's today's video, and wishing everybody a fantastic day. If you have any particular questions, anything you want me to talk about, please drop it in the comments and I'll address them directly. I've written down a few topics, a few video ideas for things that I think could be useful to somebody watching this. I have a master's degree in sport and exercise science and nutrition, so if there's anything you want to learn about building muscle, or the number of videos, I watched a guy last night on YouTube doing a chest workout that was so unnecessary. It was like 15 sets of this. Yeah, anyway, so if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.